Chapter 1. Topics we are going to discuss in this chapter. Examples of investment and financing decisions encountered by corporations. Decision-making needs a clearly defined goal. So, for a firm to be able to make an appropriate financing and investment decision, the primary goal of the firm needs to be identified. So, what is the primary goal of the firm? What do you think? If you are a shareholder of the company, what would you concern the most? You would definitely want the share price to be maximized. So, what is the primary goal of the firm? Maximize share price, that is, maximize shareholder wealth. Total shareholder wealth is calculated by number of shares outstanding multiplying market share price. So, we have learned the goal of the firm. The primary goal of the firm is to maximize shareholder wealth. This goal is clearly defined, easily justifiable, and impersonal. But is there any problem when a firm pursues the goal? There are different stakeholders of a firm, and each stakeholder has their own concern. Moreover, stakeholders excluding shareholders' best interests may not be shareholders' best interests. Financial managers should adjust to the conflicts by focusing on the long-term perspective in the decision-making process. Agency problem occurs when principals hire agents to perform services on behalf of the principals. There are two major agency relationships in the context of modern corporate finance. One is the agency relationship between stockholders and creditors. Creditors who lend money to a firm receive fixed returns on the firm's resources. Stockholders who own a firm use creditors' money to run a firm and receive variable returns. The problem occurs when stockholders undertake risky investment in hopes of higher returns. The reason is that when the risky investment performs pretty well, unlike stockholders who can then enjoy higher returns, creditors receive fixed returns promised. And in the event that the risky investment performs poorly, creditors may not get back the fixed returns promised. Apparently, creditors' bondholders suffer from such an investment decision. Creditors may use protective covenants in bond indentures to limit certain risky investment actions that a company may take to protect their own interests. The other is the agency relationship between stockholders and managers. Stockholders, the owners of a firm, are not managers of a firm. That is, there is separation of ownership and management. The agency problem occurs. Stockholders, that is the principal, would like to maximize a firm's share price. Managers, that is the agent, would like to maximize their own personal wealth. Apparently, the actual goal pursued by the management may not in line with the primary goal of the firm. To resolve the agency problem due to the separation of ownership and management, Stockholders implement various tools to minimize the conflict of interests between them and managers. The implementation of these tools give rise to extra costs for shareholders which would not incur if there were no agency problem between shareholders and managers. The costs are therefore referred to as agency costs. The tools proposed include, but not limited to, good corporate governance, properly designed managerial compensation, threat of takeovers. Examples of properly designed managerial compensation are stock options, restricted shares, performance shares, etc. Next, how do managers achieve the goal of maximizing shareholder wealth? If managers maximizing the profits of the firm, will they maximize shareholder wealth? Is maximizing profits the same as maximizing shareholder wealth? Maximizing profits is typically not the same as maximizing shareholder wealth for the following three reasons. First, the profit maximization model is static. It lacks a time dimension. Consequently, profit maximization as a goal offers no explicit basis for comparing long-term and short-term profits. Financial managers, however, must make trade-offs between short-term and long-term profits together with capital investment decisions. Second, generally accepted accounting principles result in hundreds of definitions of profits. Third, profit maximization ignores risk. It provides no direct way for financial managers to consider risk associated with alternative decisions. We have learned that maximizing profits is not the same as maximizing shareholder wealth. To achieve the goal of maximizing shareholder wealth, managers should maximize market value of a firm, not accounting book value of a firm. How do we determine the market value of a firm? Imagine you own a business. The business will last 2 years. You expect to receive $10 million in year 1 and $6 million, including $4 million operating profits, along with $2 million residual value of the business in year 2. The appropriate discount rate for these risky cash flows is 15%. What is the market value of your business today? The answer is the present value of all expected future cash flows received from year 1 and year 2. That is, discount the year 1 expected cash flow of $10 million at the discount rate 15% for 1 year. Discount the year 2 expected cash flow of $6 million at the discount rate 15% for 2 years, and sum them together. Therefore, the market value of a firm is the present value of all expected cash flows. There are 3 determinants of the market value of a firm, which are cash flow, the timing of cash flows, and risk, which is taken care by the appropriate risky discount rate. So, to maximize the market value of the firm is to maximize the present value of expected future cash flows. So, can managers affect the value of shareholder wealth? The answer is yes. how managers can affect the value of shareholder wealth through determinants of the market value of a firm, which include cash flows, the timing of cash flows, and the risk associated with the cash flows. Any changes in the determinants of the market value of a firm will definitely affect the market value of a firm, therefore the market price of stocks. These are managerial actions that can affect the market value of a firm. There are three basic forms of business organizations, which are sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation. They are all descriptive materials and assigned as your homework readings. Let me know if you have any questions. The correct choice for this problem is C. All of the above statements are correct. The correct choice of this problem is C. The statement A is incorrect in the word compound. It should be the present value instead of the compound value. The statement B is incorrect in the word the book value of the shareholders' common stock holdings. It should be the market value of the shareholders' common stock holdings. The statement D is incorrect in the word managers. It should be bondholders instead of managers.